Good evening. Welcome to Moreland Middle School and our band concerts. Thank you very much for coming out and braving the cold weather and the flexibility of coming through the different doors to come into this concert. I'm Kelly Flax. I'm the principal at Moreland Ridge Middle School, and a couple of things we try to do at Moreland Ridge is we try to teach our kids to be kind, do right, choose great. It is the Husky way. And so you're going to see some of these kids perform tonight, and it is a testament to some of your work that you've been doing. Because bands you can bring an instrument to school and leave it here and never practice, and it's going to show when it comes to different activities and different lessons that you have to do during class. I'm a band person. I never was in high school, so I've got a daughter that attends a different school, and she's in a band as well. And I'm going to tell you, in a couple of years, when you get to Blue Spring South, and you're part of the Jaguar Pride, and you get to perform at St. Louis at the Super Regional, and you're the final band performing, and you have maybe, 5,000 people watching you perform? It is pretty special. Was there anybody in St. Louis to watch the Jaguar Pride this year? Wasn't that awesome? He finished 8th, and it was incredible. So good luck to you in your band journeys. At this time, our primary teachers, percussionists. Where's Mr. Wallen? He takes care of our percussionists. We also have Mr. Hurt. He takes care of our and then we have Mrs. Judd, who also takes care of our students, and she will be starting off the concert. Once again, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Hello, as Dr. Flash just mentioned, I'm primarily in front of our flute class and our clarinet class, but I do see every single class except for percussion. But it's been nice to have them come into our flute class here lately to get ready for this concert. This concert looks a little bit different than your normal concert. I like to think of this one as like a winter showcase. Like each class is going to get to do their own little thing. You're going to kind of see what kind of things you've been doing in class every single day. So you're going to hear some sounds of what started off the year, sounding like maybe you heard a little bit at home, hopefully, and how we have continued to get better and better and better to where we are now. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hurt to get started with our trumpets.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So this is going to be a bit of a petting zoo of the concert for today. So we're going to start out with the trumpets. Everyone say, ooh. Yes. So 2 instruments in here, the trumpets and the trombones. We will play by creating a buzz with our lips. It's supported with a mouthpiece. Hopefully you've heard this at home maybe once or twice. We don't always start with it every day, but it is just it is the fundamental way to get the sound on the instrument. Technically, the way we kind of approach it is, this is the instrument.
And that's the amplifier. Of course, there's going to be technical difficulties. So, just give us 1 second here, and we'll get started.
this will probably go in and out, so I apologize. So our first tune, we're going to have a few solo groups play for us. We're doing, oh wait, that's the second tune. Hey, you're supposed to tell me that. So our first tune is called Lightly Row. All right, we're going to play the main melody, then we're going to play the accompaniment, and then we're going to jam it all together. It's going to be lovely. So here we go, Lightly Row. Thank you very much. All right, so this one we actually have some solo groups that we're going to play. We got 4 different groups. We'll recognize them at the end. This is Good King Wenceslas, or there's been a big debate on how to pronounce it, kind of like Worcestershire. I'm not sure how you would pronounce this gentleman's name, but we'll call him Good King W. All right, with 4 different solo groups. All right, here we go.
I have extra batteries in my pocket now, just in case it starts cutting out too much. Up next, we're going to have our flutes are going to go. So we start every single class on our head joints. Can you all hold up your head joints so we can see it? If you look closely, you can see a mouth plate, and there's a little tone hole. So pretty much every other wind instrument, you have to blow into. The flute players, you actually have to blow across the tone hole in order to get to make sound. Flute, I feel like, is really challenging. Thank you, Moreland. Is really challenging to get started, and so we spend a lot of time with our head joints, because if you cannot get a good sound on the head joint, you won't make a sound on the flute whatsoever. Like, it just won't come out. So we spend a lot.
playing 3 different tones on their head joints. So you're going to hear 3 different sounds, hopefully. And each of them, to produce that different sound, you have to change the direction of your air. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. So, whenever you're ready.
We have a high, middle, and low. And so to help continue to work on those different air directions, we start working on lots of different notes. So what the next thing we're going to play is in a series of 3, you're going to hear the same thing played 3 times. We're going to play it kind of a little bit longer notes, we're going to cut them in half, and we're going to cut them in half again. Because also as flute players, because they are a flute instrument, even though it is metal flute, I know, confusing. But we have to get really good at playing lots of notes and moving our fingers really fast. So we start by moving slow and then increasingly get it faster and faster. So this is going to be our B flat major warm-up. Alright, before we play our last tune as a flute class, I do want to do a quick demonstration because I talked a lot about air direction. And we have 2 students, Matea and Kira, are going to demonstrate our new Nuomo pros for us. Can you hold this one? Can you hold up the Nuomo pros? So if you can, it looks like the flute head joint, but it has these fans on it. And so that's how much they're having to change their air direction. And this is a really good tool that we have to help work on our fingers at the same time as our air direction. We've mostly been using the red and yellow fans, so girls, if you want to put them on. It goes on the flute just like a head joint. It fits on the end, so it feels like they're playing the flute. Because like when you're blowing, it's invisible. You can't really tell, but these tools are really nice to have so we can see what we're doing with our air. So if you want to show us our red fan spinning. Can you see it back there at all? I don't know, hopefully. And that's anywhere between like the first half of what we were playing. That is the yellow fan. And while they're playing, they move their air up to the yellow fan. And so they've gotten really good, and they have to spin the fan super fast to be able to get the air to come out. So this is a really good tool that I'm really thankful that I get to teach here because Dr. Flax helps get all of these tools that we use these tools every single day in class to help our flute players get better. Thank you for demonstrating our new approach. Our last tune that the flute class is going to play for you today is Dreidel Dreidel.
we'll get back to the fun section, the trombone section. Yes. Ooh, yes. And the baritone. I almost forget it. We have a baritone player, soon to be a tuba player. All right. And actually, after this concert, in certain classes, we will be asking kids if they're interested in wanting to make a switch to a specific instrument, and we'll get some stuff onto you this week about it. All the information you need. We'll talk to the kids first and send them information home. But normally, coming from the trombone class, we'll get baritone players like this thing right here. And we'll get the even bigger ones, tubas. So honestly, by the time you see us with our next concert in May, we'll probably add about 5 or 6 different new instruments. So it'll be quite exciting. Anyway, I'm rambling. My apologies. Now to the trombone. Similar to trumpet, bigger mouthpiece, lower sound. Also, trombone is one of the most challenging instruments. So that's what it's like most of the time. You always find that sweet spot, buddy. So trombone is an extremely fun instrument to play, but also one of the challenging. Every instrument in this room has a specific challenge. All these guys and gals in front of you have buttons. Sorry about that. These guys don't. They have a slide, so they have to use their ear. And there's nothing in that slide to say you're in the right spot. So their ear training and listening skills have to be on a higher level than most. So here we go, a little trombone for you. We start out the same way by buzzing. Our first selection will be a Claire de Lune. So here we go, trombones, you're ready. Especially for some of them, when we first got them, obviously we're wrestling with it, trying to hold the thing. But as you can see, they're having to reach pretty darn far. Some of them were growing into it. Some of us have grown into it. And so now we have to readjust our hands. And we're going to talk more about that once we get back into normal school. Okay, so this has kind of been a running joke for us. But if there was a national anthem for beginning band, it would be Hot Cross Buns. So feel free to put your hand over your heart. Sorry. Here we go, Hot Cross Buns. Thank you. Play ball.
All right, up next we are going to be having our clarinets. We are going to get started like every other class so far. We have a version of like the flute head joint or the brass mouthpieces. We play our miniature clarinets, all of your miniature clarinets. It is our mouthpiece and barrel attached to each other. It can sound like a duck call at times, but our goal is to get a nice, steady, high pitch. And like the flute class, I started off the year doing a whole bunch of repeat after me's, like whenever I was leading it, but then I turned it over to the students, and we're going to be having 4 different students in our clarinet class leading repeat after me's on our miniature clarinets. If you were one of those that led the repeat after me. Good job, good job. So our miniature clarinets help us get set up in class every single day. If we can't get that higher pitch to come out, if we can't hold our air steady, if we can articulate, then we're not going to be successful on the clarinet. So I like to get clarinet going where we start using all of our fingers pretty fast. So we have to use the pads of our fingers to cover open holes on the clarinet. And so we use what's called, I like to call our F major warm-up every day. That's very similar to like what the flute class did with their flat major warm-up, to help them use every single one of their fingers as they are playing the clarinet. And like the flute class, we have to quickly get our fingers moving faster and faster. And so you're going to hear us play it 3 different versions. So this is our F major warm-up. So you might have heard the occasional squeak a little bit here and there. That is huge improvement than what we saw even a few weeks ago with being able to cover all those holes. The clarinet wants to squeak, it really does, and so we are learning how to control that, and so it doesn't squeak as much. I mean, I still squeak occasionally, so it happens. But hopefully you're hearing less squeaks at home whenever they practice. Now, we don't just play technique stuff, but technique helps us get better, so then we can play pieces. And so we are going to be playing Jolly Old Saint Nick. Yes. I always mess it up in class. There's going to be two different lines happening, so they're not going to be playing the same thing. If you are playing the A line the first time, so raise your hand. If you're playing the B line the first time, raise your hand. Very good. And then the second time, they're going to swap. So if you just saw your student raise your hand, the B line is probably going to sound a little bit lower. There is one part where they grouse, but the A line will generally sound a little bit higher. So this is Jolly Old Saint Nick in our clarinet class. Very nice job, clarinet. Also, you may see that the clarinet section is a very large section. The clarinets, we also have helped fill out more sections of our band that you will see at our next concert in May. And I'm going to be talking about those different sections in class tomorrow. So if your student comes home talking about a certain instrument, it is true. We are talking about it tomorrow. Okay. This is now back to Mr. Hurt for our percussion class.
We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. We're trying, for this very first one, we're trying to just get everyone's feet wet for this thing. So, percussion. It's the one that everybody always wants. Raise your hand if you ever wanted to do percussion. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Okay, so with percussion, we do about 3 days on keyboards, and then we'll do 2 days on practice pads, which is just the best simulation for playing a flat top drum or a snare drum. Imagine having 10 snare drums in one little bitty room. Yeah. Okay. I can imagine that's your house too. Okay, so here we go. So we spent most of our time on keyboards. We worked, I think, what did we figure out? 9 major scales so far this semester, at least, give or take. There's 12 major scales, and we kind of found a way. I tried this last year with who are now 7th graders. So just to get them a little more excited about playing keyboard, I've got this nice little book, and of course I'm having technical difficulties right now. It's got a play along track, and we'll simulate that here in just a moment. If I can get it. Oh, there she goes. All right, so first 2 are scales. We're going to do our C major scale, and then we're going to do our F major scale with the play along track. So just give me 1 second. All right, you ready, Turkey?
Scale. Ready, go. Arpeggio. Ready, go. 2-note scale. note arpeggio. Ready, go. One note scale and arpeggio. Ready, go.
So there's another one that's very similar to that, just in a different key. Fun part about doing percussion stuff is we are learning a lot of coordination skills, where we definitely know which hand is our dominant hand and which one is our non-dominant hand. That's something we've been working on all year. There's so much that goes on with percussion, not just percussion, there's so much that goes on with all of these instruments, just little details that make it worthwhile. All right.
Ready, go. Four note arpeggio. Ready, go. Two note scale. Ready, go. Two note arpeggio. Ready, go. One note scale and arpeggio. Ready, go.
Thank you. And our last little number, we're going to switch over to our snare drum pads. We're going to do a little number with that. This one's called Legato Strokes and Dynamics. So if you watch closely, in order for these guys to play louder, it's all about the velocity and speed of the strike. For these guys, it's all about their air. Percussion, you can definitely see it when they're playing softer, and you can also hear it. I can speak for all of my classes and Ms. Judd's classes. These kids have been fabulous this year. We're so excited to have them, and thank you all very much. So here we go, percussion's last little number.
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
Great job, percussion. Before we get to our last tune for you all, which is going to use the entire band. So now you've heard each section, and now we're going to actually put them all together. We're going to play one big tune to finish off here. But before we do that, this kind of event and having all these students be wearing their band clothes and everything and have all the chairs and stands does not just happen without a whole bunch going on behind the scenes. And so it would be remiss if I did not have a whole bunch of thank yous. First off, I would love to say thank you to our amazing admin team that we have here and Dr. Flax. Thank you so much for supporting our band program. It is really something special that we have going on here, and it is amazing to get to be a part of it every single day. I know it's because we have awesome admin. Also, our custodians that have been helping us out so much with getting all of the bleachers pulled out and all of our chairs. So we can have a round of applause for our custodians. Today we put together this last piece in just a couple of rehearsals. So our office staff had a lot of extra. All of these students excused from other classes, so we like to give a big round of applause for our office staff for all their extra work. Also, we have an amazing pair here with us. He is in class every single day. He is a phenomenal pair helping work with some of our students. This is Mr. Paul. Thank you. Also, sitting in the back row, you can see a whole bunch of people wearing green. That is our Southside Band staff. We do not work alone. We communicate with them all the time. We meet every week. We have Mr. Kenny Hansen, our director of band at Blue Springs South High School. We have Mr. Zach Johnson, our associate director of band at Blue Springs South. We have Mr. Kyle Ty from Delta Woods. And Mr. Joe Rafferty from also from Delta Woods. They help us come up with ideas and things to do every single day. So they're really, really awesome to work with. So thank you for being here tonight. Also, now, parents, with all of you here to support them in their band journey, thank you so much for letting them sign up for band and being a part of this. This year has been so fun so far, and I look forward to what they get to do in their rest of their band journey. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for entrusting us with your students every single day. I love my job, and I love that I get to come work with your students every single day. So thank you, parents. Thank you, supportive adults. Thank you, guardians, for everything that you do in supporting their band journey. Students, can you please say a big, huge thank you to your parents for giving you instruments, reeds, supplies, all the things you need. Here we go. You all are fantastic. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hurt for our final tune tonight. And after the concert, so we can quickly get to our 7th and 8th grade, we do ask you to go ahead and get out of the gym so we can get the next one going. Not kicking you out, but go talk out there.
That is okay. Welcome to Moreland Ridge Middle School and our 7th and 8th grade concert. Hey students, just a reminder, we have our hub camera on, so whatever you do is going to be seen forever on YouTube. So you can say you've been on YouTube and you're on it. It's going to be awesome. So if you happen to have some time over break and you want to showcase some of your children's talents, Moreland Ridge Middle School, youtube.com, and type in Moreland Ridge, and you can see what kind of basketball, volleyball, band concerts, choir concerts that we have, and you can click and watch. Okay, my name is Kelly Flax, and I'm the principal of Moreland Ridge. This is a truly special night. It kicks off the holiday season, and it's December the 2nd, and quite honestly, with our band, our choir, our orchestra, our wrestling, our debate, our basketball teams, it is great to be a student at Moreland Ridge Middle School. It's great to be a student just about anywhere. Okay, we have I'm going to introduce a couple of our instructors. We have Mr. Hurt. We also have Mrs. Judd. And then in the back, we have Mr. Walden. Thank you. Before I turn this over to our instructors, I want to tell you that whatever you choose to do at Blue Spring South, take advantage of whatever opportunities they have. But I will say this much. I've been able to watch the Blue Spring South Jaguar Pride and their journey over the last couple of years. And oh my goodness, super regional, St. Louis at the Dome, 80 some high schools from 12, 14 states, maybe 16 states. The Jaguar Pride was the last band to perform in finals. That meant, like here we have maybe 1,000 people. Well, that meant they're performing maybe in front of 15,000 people. It was awesome. So if you choose to be a part of the Jaguar Pride, good luck. It is an awesome experience. Okay, and all of you parents, or guests, or custodians that were in St. Louis, thank you very much. It's awesome to have that support. Okay, I'm turning it over to Mr. Hurt.
All right, first number we're going to play is a piece by Michael Sweeney entitled Imperium. It's a loud, aggressive, lyrical. It's kind of everything: dynamics, loud volumes, soft volumes, big percussion, little percussion, all rolled into one. And they play, frankly, they play the heck out of it. So here we go, Imperium. All right, so we'll bring up Miss Judd to finish up the 7th grade portion.
Right, that was Imperium. It was pretty bombastic, pretty great way to start a concert. I would think so. They did a phenomenal job. Great job, 7th grade. Up next, we're going to change mood just a little bit. We're going to play Cloud Dancing by Larry Clark. This one is a big hit piece. This one really started working on skills of looking up at a conductor. There are a bunch of tempo changes in it, and they're all having to watch very carefully to make sure that they're in the right tempo and we're all in the right tempo together. So this is cloud dancing by Larry Clark.
Good times.
We have one more tune for you for the 7th grade, and then we'll turn it over to our 8th grade. This one is a little fun one to get us into the holiday spirit. This one's called When Santa's Away, the Elves Will Play. So, all of our 7th graders are now elves, and they are hard at work. They have been working long hours. You're going to hear wood block and timber blocks in the back, and it's the sound of the little toy hammers. They're overworked, and then there's going to be a little moment that happens in the middle. I don't want to give too much away, but the title might give a little away. So hopefully you're laughing, you're having a good time, and this is our last tune for When Santa's Away, the Elves Will Play.
All right, if you'll just give us a moment to move some percussion equipment, warm up the 8th graders, we will get going. Yeah, how about another round for Dr. Class? No monkey business around here. So, if you give us just 1 minute, probably 2, to get some things adjusted, we'll get on to 8th grade. If you need something to talk about, maybe the correct pronunciation of Worcestershire sauce. Or, I don't know, discuss Rhode Island. It's neither an island nor a road. Thank you.
All right, we're just going to go ahead and get started with our first tune.
That tune was entitled Fiesta La Vida. The Acre Band, it feels like a year ago already, but we put that together with Delta Woods about a month? Yeah, about a month ago for a wrap-up concert with the high school. And it was actually, imagine this band and that band put together, it was that big. It's just a big, fun ensemble to play in. We put it together in one night and then performed it 2 days later. So that's just how good these kids are doing. So one more round of applause for these guys. Next tune we're going to play is a piece entitled Snow Globe. Not your typical holiday selection. It's going to give you little hints of the season. It's just a real pretty one. We've had a good time and troubling times to put this one together, but actually really good times because it came together greatly today. So I hope you enjoy Snow Globe. go, we could quick switch in percussion land. Wouldn't be a band concert without a march. I am a big march nerd. Love them, love them, love them. Cool thing about this tune that we're about to play, my last school I had to do I got to do a Veterans Day assembly with my kiddos, and we almost played this march. Didn't realize how good it was until I went to buy it when I got here, and it has been out of print for about 15 years. So I called my buddies at my old school, got this thing, put it in front of the kids, and they absolutely had a blast with it. Spawned some pretty fun conversations, like who has the best song for the branch of service, all right? I'm sure everyone's got one in their heads. I think we've all had some good discussions about it. There's only one that is not on here because it was not around whenever this piece was published. Hey, it's not a very good song either. Sorry about that. Anybody in Space Force? Anybody in Space Force in the YouTube world? Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so this is entitled March of the Armed Forces. It's a medley of all 5 of the service pieces.
We would like to also invite you that if you are a member of your branch, or have been a member or a veteran from your branch, whenever you hear your song, if you would please stand and recognize at that time. The Army. The Coast Guard. The Air Force. The Navy. that was really fun. Thank you for doing that. That was really cool to see. Before we get on to our last tune of this evening, I want to do a couple of recognitions. So earlier, oh my gosh, it was a month ago now, we had a bunch of students went and auditioned for the KC Metro All District Band. And a bunch of students went. So if you were someone who went and auditioned, for the Kansas City Metro All District Band, will you please stand at this time? Or wave if you are percussion. Thank you. These students went above and beyond to learn extra music that we did not do in class to go and audition among some of the best students in the KC Metro Middle School band. Now, stay standing if you are a member of the KC Metro All District Band. We have 4 students who are going to be representing Moreland Ridge and our KC Metro All District Band. So that means that these 4 placed among the top 100 so students, and there was like well over 400 students who auditioned to be a part of this group. So it's really, really neat. Here in a couple weekends, they're gonna go and get to be part of putting together a concert in one day, and they'll rehearse all day and put on that concert that night, and it's gonna be super, super awesome. So we're super proud of these 4 students and the accomplishments that they were able to do. One more big round of applause.
Before we get all finished here, got a whole bunch of thank yous here. First of all, our administration could not do this without their support. Dr. Flax and the crew in the main office, yes, give them a round of applause. Been doing this a long time, and this gentleman behind me is definitely within the top 2 principals I've had in my however long I've been teaching. He's a keeper for sure. Got to thank the ladies in the office. Got to thank our custodial staff. Got to thank our teachers. If there's any teachers here, thank you guys for coming. Thanks for letting us steal them today. Who else? Everybody in this building. Parents, thank you for these yahoos. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. And then also, we are fortunate enough to have a gigantic band staff here on the south side. There we go. We'll start with the 2 gentlemen that come over here every other day. We'll have Mr. Hansen. He is the director of bands of Blue Spring South. Mr. Zach Johnson, he comes over. That's all their names. And then we've got Mr. Ty and Mr. Rafferty. They're the directors over at Delta Blues. All right, now they don't come over here, but we certainly support each other. Without Mr. Walling and all the support that we have, we would not be as good as we are. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Ms. Judd for everything that she does. She is fabulous. And like Dr. Black said, it's a good time to be in school. It's a good time to be in band. I mean, goodness, 8th grade parents, you know where we're going next year. You heard what Dr. Flax is talking about with the program. I remember, I know I'm that old man, get off my lawn. It wasn't too many years ago that a colleague of mine, when I was in another school district, we got a phone call while we were teaching, and we pretty much dumpster dove for percussion equipment from another school district. Yeah. So when you see all this equipment that we have here and all of just everything, we have it insanely good here. Hopefully I never have to dumpster dive again for xylophones and marimbas, but I would for these kids. But we've got it really, really good here, so please. Thank you. Plus we got more instruments today. Oh my gosh, it was early Christmas. Yes, happy December 2nd. So I'll stop yapping and we'll bring up Miss Judd to finish it up for us.
Thank you all for coming. If some of you wouldn't mind helping us with some of the chairs, the students need to get the chairs and stands put away, and they'll be all yours.
See you, man. ripping off the